Welcome to Spotlight with Diane Canny. Today the Spotlight is going to be on community revitalization. And joining me is Joseph Scott McCardle from Prudential Fox and Roach Realty. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So, working in towns, building them up after, let's say, a steel mill is there, such as Phoenixville, and it closes, or up in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, the coal mines, and other little towns that everything is built around. When these industries close, what happens to that town, and then how do we revitalize it?
What happens to the town is it has to go through a change. It has to go through a willingness to evolve into whatever major employers are current for the time. And if you look at the town as essentially a product, like you look at any other product, and have a reason for people wanting to be there, wanting to buy into it, as I would say, then you do what I do for marketing.
So you take that town, you've worked in towns such as Phoenixville, Downingtown, Westchester, Oxford,
yes,
and I'm sure many others. You take a town that is going through changes and
correct,
sometimes turmoil.
Exactly.
The businesses leave. We want to get more businesses in. We want to, as you said, work, play, and live?
Well, it's live, work, and play.
Okay.
I came up with that when I became intimately involved in Phoenixville, and there's so many people that I sold houses to actually live within the zip code. They actually work within the zip code, and they actually recreate within the zip code. So as I call it, live, work, play. This is one of the unique communities where you can actually have everything you want and not leave the zip code.
So not leaving the zip code of Phoenixville, and cars are constantly coming through, 29 Bridge Street. How do we get them to stop, and why?
I always said that if you give them a reason to stop, they will. They travel through it, they see what Phoenixville is like. Growing up in Newtown Square area, coming up through Phoenixville, we were always told, don't stop in Phoenixville. Now we have a reason. There's new shops, new places for them to recreate, new restaurants, new bars. The theater's been revitalized. There's three legs to the arts and entertainment, with the Colonial Theater starting to do live acts as well as classic movies. And also Steel City Cafe, they do regular seating of 90. And with the new Foundry building being revitalized and having a catering live entertainment venue possibility there, you have three legs of an arts and entertainment and can all offer something unique that could give people a reason to actually come to Phoenixville or actually stop the cars.
So we want them to stop the cars and visit the different towns. Mm-hmm. And arts and entertainment and culture, I think, is, as you said, a good part of having someone stop, whether it's a theater, a movie place like the Colonial, places to eat, and even arts centers and galleries. How do you feel about them bringing the people in?
That all feeds off each other. It becomes what I call a critical mass. When you have one bar in a town, it's not doing so well. But if you have 10 or 20 different bars, people will go to them in the first place and just go to the town as a destination. And then once they get to the town, they'll pick a particular place that they're going to go and actually spend the evening. Or they might go and hop from one place to another. When I first became involved in Phoenixville, we were going to move Pulsations here to the steel site and buy the entire steel site and redevelop it, and that was probably 17, 18 years ago, because Pulsations was all by itself in Glen Mills, and there was no other bars and restaurants. And that's when Delaware Avenue and Manioc were first becoming developed, because they had several bars and restaurants, and the people that went to bars and restaurants at that age group wanted to go where there was more than one.
So getting more than one is actually a good thing then?
More than one is actually a good thing. Having several and having people's choices is a good thing.
As you said, different towns, we have old establishments that are redone, such as the Columbia celebrating its anniversary this weekend of reopening, and then we have the Iron Hill, and you said the different places in Manioc and in Westchester. All these different towns have certain draws to them.
They all have a town center. Like Manioc is in the city of Philadelphia, Delaware Avenue is in the city of Philadelphia, but it has the critical mass that actually draws people into it. And the way I see the towns being revitalized is if you bring new residents in. I think that's the first thing you have to do. You have to bring new residents in. They bring their new disposable income, and more importantly, they bring their new attitudes. they're not going to put up with the way things used to be, and they're going to bring fresh ideas, and they have new disposable income, and their new tax dollars are going to speak to change.
Okay, we're talking now about residents. So you've worked on some condos here
Yes.
in town. Tell us about the great experience you've had with people camping out to get your places.
Well, the first development I worked on was a portion of the old steel mill. That property came across my desk again about 5 or 6 years ago, and I had known it because I had worked on it about 12 years ago when we were trying to put pole stations there. We lost out to the present owners, and it came across my desk again about 5 years ago. And I said that what you have to do is you have to sell a piece and make it real. Put new residents in, and that's what we did. We spent about a